Imagine this. You're sitting in the middle of a jungle in Africa. The air is hot and filled with the sound of buzzing insects. Suddenly, you see movement in the trees. A chimpanzee swings down, not afraid of you at all. He picks up a twig, strips off the leaves, and believe it or not, uses it as a tool to fish termites out of a mound for lunch. Now imagine being the first scientist to discover this, proving to the world that humans aren't the only animals that use tools. Welcome to Believe It or Not, the show where weird is real and the truth is stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Bryan, and today's story is about Jane Goodall, one of the most famous scientists in the world, who completely changed how we understand animals, especially our closest relatives, the chimpanzees. Let's travel back to 1960. Jane Goodall was just 26 years old, and unlike most scientists of her time, she didn't even have a university degree yet. But what she did have was passion. Since she was a little girl in England, Jane dreamed of going to Africa to study animals. With encouragement from famous anthropologist Louis Leakey, she finally got her chance. Jane set up camp in Gombe Stream National Park in Tanzania. At first, the chimpanzees were shy. Whenever Jane came near, they ran away. But Jane had something powerful on her side. Patience. She spent hours sitting quietly, writing notes, and letting the chimps get used to her. Slowly, they began to accept her. And then came her breakthrough discovery. One day, she saw a chimpanzee named David Graybeard use a stick as a tool to pull termites out of the ground. This was huge. Before then, scientists believed only humans could make use of tools. Jane's observation shocked the world and changed science forever. But that wasn't the only discovery. Jane noticed that chimpanzees have rich emotional lives. They hug, kiss, and comfort each other. They play, laugh, and even tickle each other, just like us. She also found that they form close family bonds and have strong friendships. However, Jane also discovered something surprising and a little scary. Chimpanzees can be violent too. They sometimes fight with rival groups, showing that their societies can be both kind and aggressive. Again, a lot like humans. Over the years, Jane became more than just a scientist. She became a protector of wildlife. She founded the Jane Goodall Institute, working to save chimpanzees and their habitats. And she started Roots and Shoots, a program that inspires young people to care for animals and the environment. And here's a fun fact. Jane Goodall often says that her dog Rusty was one of her first teachers. Watching him when she was young made her realize that animals have personalities, emotions, and intelligence long before science proved it. Before passing away on October 1st, 2025, at the age of 91, Jane Goodall still traveled the world, giving talks and encouraging people to take care of nature. She was a true role model for scientists, explorers, and kids everywhere who dream of making a difference. Now it's your turn to think about our story. If you could live among an animal, like Jane did, which one would you choose? Dolphins, wolves, or maybe my personal choice, elephants? Also, why do you think patience was Jane's greatest strength? And finally, do you believe that animals have feelings and thoughts like us? And before I let you go, here's a joke that I'm sure Jane Goodall would have loved. Why do chimpanzees have such big nostrils? Because they have really big fingers. From termites to teamwork, Jane Goodall taught the world that chimpanzees are more like us than we ever imagined. And her message still echoes today. Caring for animals means caring for our planet. Next time on Believe It or Not, we'll shift gears. Literally. And we'll explore a story that happened in 2010 in China, where they experienced the world's longest traffic jam. A 100-kilometer standstill that lasted for 12 whole days. Can you imagine being stuck in your car for that long? Until then, keep wondering, keep learning, and remember, sometimes the truth is weirder than fiction.